Psaki was asked about this today, this ridiculous somehow twisting here of history that's just laughable to anyone who pays halfway attention to anything in the world, that the Republicans somehow are the ones that are not supporting police. Cut 2, G. Roll this.
Something one of the advisors said this weekend, Cedric Richmond, he said, Republicans defunded the police by not supporting the American Rescue Plan. But how is it that is an argument to be made when the president never mentioned needing money for police to stop a crime wave when he was selling the American Rescue Plan?
Well, the president did mention that the American Rescue Plan, the state and local funding, something that was supported by the president, a lot of Democrats who supported and voted for the bill, could help ensure local cops were kept on the beat in communities across the country. As you know, didn't receive a single Republican vote. That funding has been used to keep cops on the beat.
But at the time, that was sold as these
let's stop it for a
police
second.
departments.
Stop it for a second. First of all, Cedric Richmond from Louisiana is about as radical as they come. Okay? There's plenty of video of this guy as we've gone through this whole ridiculous defund the police movement of him and his ilk and his party. Do you remember the summer that we just went through? Do we remember the Chaz? Do we remember Portland's federal courthouse that was under attack for 60 straight nights or whatever it is? Do we remember the New York City mayor coming up with a budget that cut $1 billion from police? Do we remember the articles of the headlines of the New York City mayor saying, well, no, we think it's the right thing to do? And we can go through all across the country, Democrats talking about rethinking, reimagining, re-this, re-that.
Yeah.
I mean, Cedric, I don't know specifically if we have video of him, but I know we have Nancy Pelosi. I know we have, what's his name from South Carolina that single-handedly kept Biden even in this race, calling
Clyburn?
federal, who?
Was it Clyburn?
Clyburn, yes, thank you. Calling federal police stormtroopers as they went into these places. I can remember Kamala Harris during, I think it was the Kavanaugh hearings, talking about ICE as if they were a Mexican cartel. I mean, so what are they talking about here?
Boy. They're rewriting history. This is what they do. It's like, all right, now we got to rewrite history, and we just keep saying it. We say it enough times, and then people will believe it. They'll believe it because all the news is going to do, all the media is going to do, is parrot what they say. And you're going to start seeing it from these talking schmeds, just parroting the same things, going, oh, well, the American Rescue Plan. Oh, that's a nice name for a plan that spends trillions of dollars on nothing. That doesn't help the American people, but it has a nice name to it. And they're going to say, well, it was in there. You could have voted for it. That's how they get around it.
Let's hear the rest of this clip from her. Go ahead.
But at the time, that was sold as these local police departments might have a pandemic-related budget shortfall, not we need to keep cops on the beat because there's a crime wave.
I think that any local department would argue that keeping cops on the beat to keep communities safe when they had to, because of budget shortfalls, fire police is something that helped them address crime in their local communities.
Hold it. Now, I don't know. Maybe there's budget shortfalls in specific places. I don't know every number in every place. But any budget shortfalls were purposely put in place by the people running these cities, like in New York. Her argument, you would think by her argument that the crime numbers are on par that were what they've been. They're skyrocketing across the country.
And especially in the places where they defunded and reimagined the police.
You see what happened in Washington Square Park last night at the Pride Parade? It was mayhem.
Look at what happened in Times Square.
It's crazy.
Middle of the day.
Yeah, Democrats, right? Okay, just keep it's unbelievable. What have we been saying since since the day we started doing everything they do? They say, "No, he did it. Wasn't me, him."
Right.
Every time
they always
doesn't stop. And now this video.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear the rest from her.
Our local communities.
For those in the local communities, the White House's argument was the American Rescue Plan is going to be $1,400 checks. It's going to be vaccines, vaccinators. It's going to put us on the path to beating the virus.
It did those things as well. It was a pretty good bill and piece of legislation.
Yeah. See, Peter Doocy is not having it with her nonsense. You know, so at least you get some semblance of real questions and follow-ups from him. He's not having any nonsense.